it was a point where I could be going to bed and my prayer to God would be, please, I don't want to wake up tomorrow morning. I'll say my last prayers and I'll tell God, just accept my soul. I came back home and I said, I'm not going back.
So this is the second dropout.
So this is the second one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that I would like to make this place the hook of this podcast, because welcome to Not Fine Podcast. We're having a conversation with Malviq Music, a music producer, a businessman, and a 2-time university dropout.
Yeah.
I don't know what
I
other
like that
things he has. I don't know what other thing he has dropped out from. Yeah, I think that's part of the issues we're having in the mental health space, because people cannot really afford to get care.
Yes.
And I think it should be something that should be added into the policy.
Yeah. I had a conversation with my parents and I'm like, let me just go and do music. They agreed. My mom followed me to music department in University of Jos, and then I got admitted. Actually, I was in a dark place. It was as though my inner self, my soul, was just drowned. My physical body could move, talk, but...
So at what point will you say that you started coming back to yourself?
In one of those sessions, the therapist asked me, do you think you might want to try school again? And I told her yes.
Hi guys, welcome to Not Fine Podcast, and today I'm here with
Malviq.
Yeah, and before we continue this podcast, I would just like Malviq to give a proper introduction of himself, then we move.
Okay, I am Malviq. I am a music producer, mix engineer, songwriter, and as of recently, I've started doing some business. Yeah.
So it looks like you're a lot of things.
Yeah.
And if you're supposed to give us a word for something that you are, what would you call yourself?
I am a guy fueled with creativity. So though it might sound generic, I would say a creative.
Are creatives business people? I thought creatives are people that...
Now the lack, they said necessity is the mother of invention. So when I saw that it became necessary, so I had to be creative to find a way to... my end goal is not to do business. There is something else. I need that business to help me fund.
I think it depends on what we call business, because
True.
Creativity is supposed to have a business end to
Thank
it.
you.
So I want us to have a very real conversation. So I want you to be very comfortable.
Yeah.
And, vulnerable.
Sure.
Because Not Fine is about emotional intelligence, vulnerability, and it teaches people to be responsible. So that's basically what we want to do here. So I would like to ask you where you're coming from.
Yeah.
As pertaining to life. Where are you coming from? What has been your journey?
Okay. Going to speak on two things. My side of creativity and school.
Okay.
So I think most Nigerians, I won't speak for people outside, but I'll speak for my own home. It is hard to merge those two, academics and someone who is really, really into, non-academic activities and trying to merge it with academic activities. It's a struggle. So for me, that was a, hurdle that was hard for me to surpass. But to the glory of God, I did. And should I say this? But oh well, I am even doing masters, which is which is weird. Anybody that knows me knows that I hated school, but I'm about to round up my master's, and I'll even, for the fun of it, I might do PhD.
Well, I think I understand what you mean when you say it's hard to merge creativity and school.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of a lack of knowledge in parenting.
Yeah.
Because I think what our parents were trying to do was keep us safe.
Safe. Yeah.
And they were using the method of their time,
Yes.
which is go to school. When you're done with school, you get a job.
Yeah.
It was sure for them at that time because Nigeria, I won't even say Nigeria was working. I'll just say Nigeria was still new, was still a newborn at that point, and everything seemed to be working. So our parents just thought that, oh, if this works for me, it will work for my son. And if things are getting this bad, let's just put him on this track so that he will be able to also be responsible for his family.
Yes.
I think that was what was going on.
Yes.
But I want to know how that now affected you
Yeah.
personally
Yeah.
and your development.
Yes. So, as we know it, what was working during that generation, the economy has changed and tilted to, there's every few years, something new
There's
comes
a new
up.
trend, yeah.
Thank you. So, being at right now, as we're talking, doctors in this country are not being paid well.
That's a serious table to shake because I don't know if your parents wanted you to be a doctor.
They did.
Because my mom begged me.
They did. So, but then back then it was the doctors that had a home, and all that. Anyways, so like we're talking, they wanted me to be a medical doctor. As a matter of fact, when JAM forms, when we're picking JAM forms and putting in what you want to study in the university, everything was filled in by my dad. And it was medical doctor, University of Jos, and all that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you didn't even have a choice.
I didn't have a choice.
That's I mean, your own is more dramatic. Even though other people's own were quite subtle, like mine. My mom literally begged me to be a medical doctor because she wanted a son that was, and some of our parents, we are like their glory.
Yeah.
So you are like a project that they use to, because they are investing all they have in you and they want the best out of you.
Yeah.
So they are literally trying to live their lives
through
you. And there's a friction there because if the child is not doing what the child wants to do, then how exactly are we going to measure success, or whose success exactly
is it?
Are we measuring at that point?
Is it that of the parent or that of the child?
Yeah. So, what did that cost in your journey?
So, it cost me time. It cost me my mental health. It cost me my peace. And I'll explain. Let me elaborate on that. So, when we were in J3 and there is this transition into the senior secondary year. That is when they separate people. So some people go to science, some people go to arts, some people go to commercial. So automatically, they just bought books for science class. When we resumed, I found myself in science class. And for the first time, we were like 90 something.
Yeah.
And for the first time, I found myself falling under the position of like 48. While all my life, through primary school, is always first. If I sleep, second, So my parents already knew me like that. As a matter of fact, I even left from primary 4 because
you were smart.
Yeah. Into JS1. JS1 to J3, I was falling under the top 15, thereabouts, which is pretty much good.
Yeah, for the school you're coming from.
For the school I'm coming from and the class self I'm coming from, that was pretty good. Out of 90, that's a lot, you know. But dropping, it shows you how I was struggling. It's by the grace of God self that I didn't even repeat. But I was always at the edge. And that was how I struggled my way through science class in high school. Then I got to getting to university. I didn't even get the medicine. It was later on changed. They had to go back and change it to pharmacy.
Can I take you back a bit?
Yeah.
When you were in secondary school,
Yeah.
when your dad made you go to the science class,
Not just my dad, my mom,
when your
my parents
made you go to the science class, did you know your choice? Did you have a choice, like what you wanted?
Yes.
Your preference?
Yes. I have always been into the arts. I've always done music.
Okay.
Always.
So the reason I'm asking is because for someone like me, nobody made the choice for me.
Yeah.
But there were factors that made me go to the science class, because I'm also very art inclined. Even in the science class, I was offering art
Exactly.
as my elective.
Yeah.
But I realized that there was just this subtle culture of the smart people go to
Going to science class. Yeah.
dumb people go to art class.
Yeah.
And that influenced my decision to go to science class. I don't know why these NEPA people are.
Yeah, even if we stop here, we can even continue. Maybe
But you know that this is part of the problems of this country.
where they make us to know they find.
like you're trying to pick up yourself, you're trying to be responsible, you're trying to do stuff, make a change, and very little things,
Something
like
as little as having constant electricity
you can't have it.
can ruin you. It'll make you lose opportunities. But
It's crazy.
yeah.
If Nigeria was a parent, this is what we get.
Yeah.
Because the citizens cannot properly develop, and if the citizens cannot properly develop, then how can we have a developed country?
Exactly.
This is crazy, man. Crazy.
So we'll pick this up.
Yeah, we're going to have to
Cuts.
continue when there's light so that you see us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, guys. Welcome to the Not Fine podcast again. NEPA did a strong thing, but
We made it.
in Nigeria, we're built to be resilient. I don't know if this our resilience is
A good thing or a
good thing
bad
or,
thing.
or a traumatic response. So we stopped at where you were saying, you were telling us about, we're saying that art class seemed like it was for dull people and science was for smart people. And I was trying to say my experience.
Yeah.
And say that in my own case,
Yeah.
I didn't have that. I didn't even know that kind of thing existed where your parents would just fill in the space
Forms
for you.
and all that.
So let's continue from there.
Okay, so after that was done, after I wrote UJ's, what's that thing they write before?
Post-UME?
Post-UME, thank you. They went back and changed it because they said like the slots for medicine don't full the hair, that kind of thing.
Obviously, because every parent are already trying to find space for their child.
Thank you. to get their child into this thing. We go just say hi. Hi.
Who is that? Chloe.
We're shooting a podcast. So you're live. Anyways, so they went back and changed it to pharmacy.
Okay.
Then after that was done, I got the admission and then I started, and it was hell for me. It was hell, bro. I like the struggle where I struggled for secondary school was nothing compared to the struggle that I was facing at this point. But I finished 100 level without a carryover, but my grade was very average. Enter 200 level. 200 levels where you start doing the actual pharmacy.
Because,
yeah. Broski. I bath with carryovers.
Everywhere, bro.
Man, so at that point, I had already started seeing like myself as a failure, as though I was a failure.
Yeah.
So even zeal, kuma, and no fit.
And interestingly, that's the age where you are forming your identity.
Yeah.
If you are starting to solidify the fact that you're a failure at that stage in life, it will tell in your late adulthood age.
True. Man. So afterwards, I had to, I got to 300 level. And then first semester, I was attending classes, even some practicals already, while waiting for the previous session's results. And then that was when it came out and I was withdrawn from pharmacy school.
Crazy.
And this withdrawal was public. They put everybody's results, they paste it, then those that have been withdrawn, your math number go there.
With
So
your name?
everybody knows.
With your name?
Yes.
Interesting. Because in my own school,
So
it was just your math
everybody knows.
number. So if whoever does not know your math number will not know.
Even but guy, the pharmacy school was not that large. We were not so much. So if you want to know who is
Yeah.
0052, that's my math number. UJ/PH/0052. So bro. Well, okay. I don't know if the name was there, but I know math number. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Can't recall, honestly. I just know say they there. These guys are the guys that were kicking out. So I ran away. I didn't come back home. I went to Diesel's place, spent some time there. I went to Chuzi's place. Then I went to a very good female friend of mine at the time. Now she's married. Gloria. Her dad is a pastor. She took me to see her dad. He tried to encourage me, tell me, but bro, at that point, I know they hear anything at all. So, it was just wild, honestly. It was just wild.
So you could not go home.
Yeah, I couldn't.
That's it shows me an interesting pattern in the Nigerian parenting industry because it has been industrialized.
Yeah.
It is deeply entrenched in our culture. It's not something that has started today. It's something that has been there for a long time.
Yeah.
It has been passed from generations to generation. So there's no unlearning, relearning of how parenting should be done. So you see that children do not know that their parents are supposed to be safe space. They're supposed to be guardians. They're supposed to be like the shepherd of their lives.
Yeah.
So when they do something wrong or when they fail at what they are supposed to do, the first response is fight or flight.
Yeah.
And obviously they can't fight their parents, so they run away from their parents.
Yeah.
So I could see that in your story, the fact that you just took off.
Yes.
And I don't know what happened when you finally went back home. Were you taken with wide arms like the prodigal son? Or?
Yeah. Yes, I was. It was crazy. It was dark, but for me personally, but for my parents, I knew they were. It was hard for them too, but they tried. They really, really tried for me.
You know, at that point, they may just be thinking, at least he's alive.
Exactly. At least he's at home. So
yeah,
let us look for a way forward.
Because I think most times, what brings parents back to their minds is the extreme.
Yes.
When they have seen the
Like,
extreme,
it-
it's like they just learn a lesson and they're like,
in that moment,
okay, let's now
let's see what we
find a way,
can what we
because
can do.
yeah, at this point, this thing is getting out of control.
Yeah.
So how were you able to now begin to move ahead from that place when you got back home?
So moving ahead would be in my physical state, like life. Let's move forward with life.
Yeah.
But I wasn't moving ahead mentally.
Okay.
I was still very, very stuck. And I'll elaborate.
Okay.
I didn't even have time to grieve. The very next week, we were already looking for another department for me to go to. There was no counseling, nothing. So you go to this department, they'll say, we are full. You go to this department, they'll say, we are full. So some people even had to go all the way to social sciences or arts. People that are withdrawn with me from the sciences to find a place that they'll accept
Looking
them.
for home.
Bruh, it's crazy. No talks, no guidance and counseling, but in a proper system,
Yeah.
anybody going through that the school itself should even provide,
Yeah.
guidance and counseling and even therapy. But we didn't have any of those. So I had a conversation with my parents and I'm like, let me just go and do music. They agreed. My mom followed me to music department in University of Jos, and then I got admitted actually, and they told me I can start. I just need to write JAMB and WAEC with arts courses, before I'm done. While leaving, after that day I got admitted, while we were about to leave, my mom was like, oh, Professor Peak works in this faculty, so let's look for him. So we met him, Professor Peak Onwuche.
Mele's dad.
Yes. So we met him and then he advised me to not pivot completely away from science. I can just find anything since that was my foundation. Mm-hmm. And as for music is already inbuilt in me. I might even come here and find the study of music boring.
Yeah. And I think I understand that, because when people enter into what they're studying in a broken system,
yeah,
it takes away the joy, the boring classes, no just theory, no practical,
all that.
There's no tension of you fighting for your dream and all that. You may just get lost in doing assignments and tests and
fighting for grades.
And in the midst of that, you lose your passion.
Yeah.
I think the system is that broken.
Very, very broken.
So I think I understand what he was saying there.
So that advice helped me to go back, and I now got microbiology. But I still didn't finish microbiology. I had an encounter with a lecturer. I won't call his name. He disgraced me publicly in class just because I was tagged a withdrawal student. So it was like, hey, so you're one of those withdrawn students, that came from pharmacy. I was like, yes. He now told me to bring my report book because we do a practical report and we're supposed to submit. And he said he didn't see me in the class. I've come here and I'm also being on serious. If care is not taken, we are going to withdraw you from here too. So I say, sir, I was there, bro. Already tears had already started gathering in my eye. It took the courage of one girl from the class to say, oh, sir, he was actually in class with us. And he was even in my group and he actually participated. He was here live. That was when he kept quiet and told me to bring my book. And he kept it separately from the rest of the pack even. I walked out of class that day and went to the library, put down my head, cried my eyes out, came back home, and I told my parents I'm no longer going to school. Like, and I stopped going to school.
For the second time.
Yeah.
So you have dropped out twice.
Yeah, this will be the story of my first, first dropout. I've not yet told you the story of the second one.
Okay.
So, Chuzi's mom is like a second mom to me.
Okay.
She is also friends with my parents too. So she came around, and thankfully she's more medically inclined. So she already knew things about depression and all that. As for us, we had never heard anything about that. So she sort of schooled my parents about this and said, this is most likely what your child is going through. He's showing all the signs of this depression. And here are the possible solutions. Let us see if we can change his environment. Since he feels like this news has gone round, he feels like everybody here thinks he's a failure. Yeah, there's just shame, Let's change his environment. Maybe when he goes to a new place, he might make new friends, and adjust. It was a good suggestion, and then we took it. So I now went to a private university, and I was doing in nursing. Started,
Wait, so you've done pharmacy, you've done biochemistry,
microbiology, then
nursing.
Yeah. So
interesting.
I got there and it was worse. My depression got worse. So I was more secluded. It was a place where it was almost as though I had gone back to secondary school. Because it's one of these private universities where they have prefects. They can punish you. There was the time they told me to do frog jump. So Imagine somebody that has lived the life of University of Jos, and then they've now thrown you into a place that is like secondary school, and you're not understanding the reality of your life anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just upside down. And I was like, nah, man. After the first session, I came back home. I told my parents I'm not going back. In fact, there are some of my properties that are still in that school to date, because normally it's like, you go for holiday, come back, I came back home and I said I'm not going back.
So this is the second dropout.
So this is the second one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I think that I would like to make this place the hook of this podcast, because welcome to Not Spy Podcast. We're having a conversation with Malviq Music, a music producer, a businessman, and a 2-time university dropout.
Yeah.
I don't know what other things I don't know what other thing he has dropped out from. But that was on a lighter note. I want to quickly make some remarks on the things you have spoken about.
Yeah.
So you spoke about the fact that you were in class and a lecturer disgraced you.
Yeah.
And what came to mind for me was, I always say that only broken people break others. Yeah. So maybe that man must have been going through stuff, or maybe that kind of thing had happened to him, and that's the best way for him to, support you. Like this kind, all these people that have been unserious, let's put eye on them, and when we disgrace them, they will
that's
sit
another
up.
angle. Yeah.
But I think that
it's not the best approach.
It's not the best approach, because in that kind of situation, whether or not you know that this person is depressed, I think we should show some level of tolerance, love, and acceptance for people that are going through stuff.
Yeah.
You don't even have to see depression in their eyes. You don't have to see sadness in their eyes. If we can get there as a country, as a system, then we're going to be doing better. Because, if you had a community of people, and I think you did have that because there was somebody that at least stood up for you.
Yeah.
And secondly, I think that the issue of parenting also, I'll bring that up again. The issue of parenting, where parents think that they are like the owners of the children, forgetting that they're just guardians. And I could see that Choos's mom was very instrumental
Very, very.
in the guiding of the course of your life, because
Very,
if
very.
she did not come at apt moments with proper instructions
Yeah.
for you, then you most likely would have lost cause,
Yes.
because you don't even know what was wrong, and there would just be problem at home, because your parents are trying to find the way forward for you. You're also trying to defend yourself, and that would just be
Chaos.
that would just be crazy. So
be
now
chaotic.
you now go to this school and it didn't work out for you again. It sounds like a very dark time.
Yeah.
So how were you able to come out of that? What was the next thing that happened after that, and how was it dealt with?
Again, Choos's mom came back and she now introduced this term, therapy, once again. So, I had always seen therapy in movies, and all that, but thinking that I didn't even think it was a thing that happened in Nigeria.
So before she said you needed therapy,
Yeah.
was there like any diagnosis, like?
Okay. She didn't say I needed therapy. She advised we go and see a professional therapist, and
For some assessment?
it was when we got there that they now did the assessment.
Okay.
Yes. She was just, like guessing, like,
Because she
this
could see the symptoms. Okay.
Exactly. So it was when I get there that professionally now the diagnosis was made.
So this tells me that normal people can see symptoms.
Yes.
And that's what I think that's what I do as a mental advocate. We know the symptoms of depression: when you cannot function properly in society, when you cannot think properly, when you cannot cope with the normal stresses of life, when you cannot relate with people, when you're sleeping too much, when you're not sleeping, when you're not eating properly. All those things can be signs of depression. If you see them, you don't have to diagnose the person.
Yes.
Just like she did not diagnose you, you can refer these people to see professionals and help them from that place. Okay.
Exactly. So we went there, got the diagnosis, and thankfully I was lucky enough that the MD at Quintessential, that was the center, he was friends with my dad from way back, when they were much younger, and they used to attend the same church, Professor Audu and his wife. So they, what they call it, free of charge, they treated me, because if we were supposed to pay for that, it would have been a whole lot of money. The medication, because they placed me on antidepressants, mood enhancers, and sleeping pills. There were 3 pills. So, and then also the sessions that I was having too with the professional therapists. It would have been a lot, and I was going there twice a week for a period of 6 months. So I think I was very lucky, because not many people can even afford this.
Yeah, I think that's part of the issues we're having in the mental health space, because people cannot really afford to get care.
Yes.
And I think it should be something that should be added into the policy.
Yeah.
Probably health insurance should also include mental health services.
Very, very much.
Yeah.
Very much. I attest to that fact, because it really helped me, and I'll tell you how. They were able to help me go back to finding the things that I loved, which is music. And then they spoke to my parents and told them, your son loves this, you need to support him, and maybe, probably, some form of joy will come back into his life.
Okay.
And yes, it did happen. So my mom bought me my first studio equipment, complete set.
Interesting.
Yes. So they started showing me full support. They started allowing me bring people to come over the house to record as clients. So I started making small 2K, 3K, because that's what I used to charge that time. Then after a while, in one of those sessions, the therapist asked me, "Do you think you might want to try school again?" And I told her, yes, I'll be okay to try. So they now wrote a letter to my department and to the university too, stating why I've been away from school for so long. So, because remember, I just I didn't even finish the first semester of that 200 level microbiology. After I got this grade, I just left, went to a private uni. Then after a private uni, I left, then came back, did some months of therapy before going back to microbiology again to start 200 level. And I was accepted. Thank God for the HOD of the department at the time. He was very, very, very welcoming. And I finished from University of Jos, and I didn't do so bad.
So, at what point will you say that you started coming back to yourself?
Oh, I think I can even remember that.
And before we even go there, Seth,
Yeah.
I want you to tell me what depression is experientially. How would you define that personally?
Yeah. Thank you for personally, because I can only speak for how
Yeah.
I felt. I was in a dark place. It was as though my inner self, my soul, was just drowned. My physical body could move, talk, but inside me was just dark. It was a point where I could be going to bed and my prayer to God would be, please, I don't want to wake up tomorrow morning. I'll say my last prayers and I'll tell God, just accept my soul, because I don't want to be here anymore in this world. I don't want it. And then when I wake up the next morning and it's like, damn.
God didn't answer your prayer.
It's like, I honestly, that was how it was for me. That was how it was for
So
me.
why didn't you end it by yourself?
Because my parents and I think the church, I'm a Christian, they've ingrained this: if you kill yourself, you are going straight to hell.
But that prayer you were praying was like
I was looking for a loophole. I was looking for a loophole to end it,
yeah.
so that at least I can
if
just
it
go to
happens,
heaven.
it will be the person that said you should not do it that helps you do it. So he has to take responsibility.
So do you get? So that was just it for me. But then again, I can remember some weird moments where I was crossing the road and I was not looking left or right.
That's
So
crazy.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you just want, okay, now maybe say na car hit you, that kind of a thing. One more thing that, although now I no longer do it, like it's been years, I don't drink or smoke or take any hard drugs or anything. But at the time, that was when I used to try and take small alcohol and all that. But guys, alcohol is not even sweet. So
Exactly.
at the point when I came back, out of, I think I can even remember the exact moment. I had just written a test, and no, the results for the test that I had written had come out, and I did well. I called my dad. I told him, "Oh, this test that I wrote that I was worrying about, I passed it though." And then he congratulated me and praised me, told me how he's proud of me and God is with me. My dad is very prayerful. He's always, blessing me. So that gave me joy. Then also my music too. I had started making much more money now. I'm not making 2K, 3K, making like 30 pounds like that.
Pounds.
Yeah, because I had God just made a way. I had some clients that I met from IG and they were giving me gigs and all that. Shout out to King K and London Day. That's just sparked joy in me. It's like, wow, so I can actually earn this
Yeah,
money.
and that brings me back to talking about parenting again.
Yeah.
Because I could see that your parents had gone to school
Yes.
by experience.
By now experiencing
Yeah.
this.
Because there's this experience that almost all child has when you are trying to be responsible, pick up your life and move. It looks like you are not being seen.
Yeah.
But the child that decides to be irresponsible is a child that now starts to
Has
gain
all the focus and
the favor,
and attention.
the resources and everything. So a child is taking drugs and behaving anyhow, and the parents are focusing on that child. So it looks like the parenting industry is focusing more on cure than prevention. So most times they don't pay attention to understanding the strengths, the weaknesses of their child and guide them to it so that they can hone it. They rather want to live through their children. They want to do the things that they could not do,
Yeah.
that their parents did not let them do through their children, which is starving and strangling the child's own ambitions, and it keeps going down through the generation. So because of this issue,
Yeah.
we have poorly developed individuals and
Yeah.
families. I could see that your parents had learned this by experience. And I think that's why we're having this conversation, so that people watching will not have to learn
yeah.
by experience.
Yeah.
They can just understand that you need to just know the child's strength, weaknesses, understand where they're going and try to direct them through it, basically.
Yeah.
Then I'll now go forward to asking how you were able to navigate and get out of this depression.
So first, I had people around me that actually cared to choose his mom. My parents, deciding, oh yeah, let's do this. Do I not rigid and say, Samson, my child is not depressed in the name of God? But they were open to, because I've heard of people that bite and cast.
They start going
things
from mountains to
mountains, and when
and it creates stigma.
Yeah, thank you. So, and I had friends too, because at that point, I think that was when we started getting closer.
Yeah.
Me, you, and Jesse. So,
and it looks like all of us were going through the same
at
phase.
that same
so
time,
there was this relating.
Trauma bonding.
No, but I don't really think it was trauma
bonding, right?
Because
it was relatability.
It was effective and it was efficient. We're not just there saying, oh, all of us are going through this and throwing pity parties for ourselves.
Exactly.
We're just sharing experiences and trying to push each other forward. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think at that point we now started doing projects together.
Yeah.
Jesse will come every December.
So you were the music guy, Jesse was the video guy, I was the art guy.
Exactly.
So we're
doing all that. It's a tradition that we still do up until now. So
you can even go to, I think now you have a company.
Yeah, I do.
Malviq Entertainment. You can even go to his his YouTube page.
Yeah.
And if you scroll down, you're going to see some of the old videos that we did there.
Yeah. And new ones too.
Yeah.
So that just gave me cause to want to live again.
And that's hope.
Yes, exactly. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God. Thank God for friends. It is something that I think you can't put a price on. That is one thing that I am grateful to God for, the value of friendship.
As you're saying this thing, what's coming to my mind is somebody watching this maybe thinking friends means that people that you never have friction with. And
No.
it sounds like a perfect
Relationship. Nah.
But the truth is that we know the truth. I think we're going to have to make a podcast.
A separate podcast
about
that. Yeah. But because we fought, like all three of us have fought differently.
Yeah.
So it's but above.
There was something I
else.
wrote today.
Yeah.
I said, most times people say home is a person. And all of a sudden I was laying down and the thought came to me that home is not just a person. Because, and most times when we're saying it romantically, you're saying your baby's home, you're holding her arms and all that.
Yes.
Home is not just a person. Home can be found in different people. But before you even find home in different people, you have to find home in yourself. That's the point of building your identity, which if we follow your story, we can see that point where there was chaos. You were trying to find yourself. Then when you were at the point of finding yourself, you started to find friends that were coming through that place too.
Exactly.
And, identity formation was beginning to solidify and you began to find home in yourself. So now when you can find home in yourself, don't just make your address one person. That's community now. There are people that when you want to talk about your relationship, you call.
Yeah.
That's an address.
Yes.
There's somebody that you want to talk about music, you call.
I call.
That's another address.
Very true.
There's somebody that's, so when you have community around yourself, that's what's actually priceless. When you know yourself and you have community. That's why I think even the Bible says that there's a friend that sticks closer than a brother. And the reason behind that will be that your brother has no choice but to be your brother.
True.
But when your friend becomes your brother, that has had to be something that have been built
over time.
So I can understand exactly how friendship can help, because there are times that I think we just call and talk and it's therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
And you just talk and that's like what is happening here too.
Yeah.
So friendship helps, guys.
A lot.
Don't follow the cynical worldviews that says you should keep to yourself. Find yourself friends that will help you move forward in life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm listening.
So where are we? Well, I think now, where am I in life? Now the guy that was, didn't like school, all that. I'm doing my master's now. And I'm still producing music, making a little more than before. I am also doing some form of business that I hope as it grows, I can keep using it to finance the music, because, that's just my passion. So I just want to use this junction to, is it junction or junk?
Yeah.
To say and advise people that you can have passion. Like music is my passion, but you might have to do other things.
Yeah.
To finance that passion. It doesn't make you stupid.
Especially if you are a Lapo kid.
Exactly. Especially except you have someone or you have some trust fund that's just going to, but I'm speaking for like the average or even below average Nigerian, but might not really have much.
It doesn't mean you should give up on your passion.
Yes.
It doesn't.
I'm not giving up on my. I'm still. In
No,
fact,
no. I just remembered something in this point. Let me snitch you.
Okay.
There was a time this nigga called me and said that he was giving up on music. Like he literally was being accountable. This guy, let me call my guys and tell them what I'm about to do. I'm about to go and
Yeah.
get a job.
I always do that.
And I'm quitting music. You know, I want to become a road safety officer. And I remember we had a conversation, and I think that's just what you said. Now I was like, bro, you can get a job and still do your music.
Yeah.
Your music is like the fundamental part of you. That's your expression. And what is to bust my head was that this guy did not see how good he was. Like, I listened to his music, the ones that are not released, you know. When he makes music, he sends to me. When I make arts, I send to him. When Jesse does his stuff, he sends. So there's sometimes that some things are not released, but you can have the friendly privilege of like, see. And I'm like, bro, you can make music like this and you just want to drop it. And if you know me, you know that I don't even I will not try to make you feel good. So when I'm saying that kind of stuff, I'm not even trying to make you feel good. So it was not only once you did that thing. You did that thing like 3 times. Because I remember there was a time I was talking to Jesse and I was pissed. And I was like, see, if Malviq wants to leave music, I'm tired. He should do whatever he wants to do at this point, yeah? And Jesse was like, no, now let's just talk to him. I said, guy, if you want to talk to him, talk to him. And I think it was him and Jesse that spoke finally. And he was like, oh, or maybe he came back to himself. But all I can see in this conversation is a man or a boy that went through dark times.
Yeah.
And with the help of community, with the help of other people and an inner resolution.
Yeah.
Because at some point we can look at this story and say you had weak thresholds, but you never gave up.
Yeah.
You failed, but you never gave up. And that created or that formed a man out of you. You went through the process of death itself, because there were times where you said you went through depression, and how you described depression was a dark place.
Yeah. And
when you say that, I see a seed under the soil. That's a dark place.
Yeah. What
happens to that seed? The seed dies, goes through all forms of, death.
Yeah.
The seed starts to feed on itself. And at some point, the seed sprouts. That's still the place of identity formation. That's because when you see a sprouted seed, you can't tell what fruit it is. Then it starts to grow and grow and grow. And at some point, you can now tell that, oh, this is a mango tree. Then at some point, it starts to bear fruit.
Yes.
So I think that boy now went through that process and became a man, or is becoming a man.
I'm still growing.
Because we're still in our young phase. We still have problems. We still have issues that we're trying to deal with. There's one we're supposed to talk about. But then this podcast was just basically about you telling your story.
Yeah.
And people picking what they can pick from your story, because I don't think you have given any form of direct prescription for anybody. But if you hear this story, you can see yourself in it.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think you should wrap this up by telling us where you want to go to from here, where you see yourself going to from here.
I honestly, there has been one thing that I want to do, maybe in like collaboration with Not Fine.
Okay.
Which is, and I think I already spoke spoke with you about this.
So I think say you want to come and pitch something to me in front of everybody.
No. We already spoke about it. And that's when we encounter people and they have some problems. Maybe say, like, we know say not just financial this in way. So I want to get to the point where I could start actually helping people with that lack basic things that maybe God has blessed me with. Yeah. I think
we're going to wrap this podcast up.
We'll just wrap it because
no matter how these NEPA people try
to
but
do it.
But I think it was a good time for the light to go off.
Yeah.
So lights out, guys. One of the things I have solidified is that it's okay not to be okay. But what's not okay is remaining there. Yeah. You have to forge ahead. So take care of your mind, guys, and see you on another episode. Don't forget, you can hit the subscribe button and and share this video. Comments. Peace, guys.